How did you lose your virginity? I've always been a huge nerd. It was especially bad in middle and high school, when pretty much no one would talk to me. I had a very bad stutter and I was 4.5 feet at best, so girls never gave me any attention and most guys just saw me as someone to shove around, if they saw me at all. Because of that, I spent a lot of time alone, and one of the only real hobbies I had was building Legos. I must have had at least 200 sets in my basement, and even when I was 16 or 17, I would spend hours at a time down there building all kinds of things. I never let anyone else down there, but I did sometimes think about how amazing it would be if I actually had someone to play Legos with. In my senior year, however, something crazy began to happen. I hit an insane second growth spurt, my acne began to clear up, and as I started to get more confident, my stutter almost completely went away. By the time I graduated, I was 5 foot 10 inches and had an almost completely clear face. However, I still had very few friends, and Legos were still a huge part of my life. When I went to college that fall, the thing I was saddest to leave behind were definitely my bricks. My roommate was a really nice guy, as were everyone else on our floor. At the end of my first week there, I was invited to my first college party. I was incredibly nervous. This was pretty much my first party ever, anywhere. The scariest part was that maybe 20 minutes in, a very pretty girl came up to me and started talking to me for a long time. I could almost feel my stutter creeping back in, especially as she kept making weird eyes and faces at me. Suddenly, however, she mentioned something about her little brother playing with Legos, and I lit up instantly. I must have ranted to her for at least half an hour about all the Lego sets I had at home, and all the builds I had come up with in my spare time. Finally, she shut me up, and asked if I wanted to come back to her dorm so we could play with Legos. I got really excited, and said yes instantly. Needless to say, we ended up having intimacy that night. It was fine, but I was still kind of disappointed that I didn't get to play with Legos.